not going to happen. There's too many influences and demands and timelines and everything like that where everything is mixed in together, finance, all that blah, 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 blah. But there are some things that you can pick out and do about it, and some things you just got to hate and you're probably never going to change.
Well, you know what I mean?
You're going to have to eat it. Yeah, but at least everybody is on the same time. Oh, that's happening to that guy too.
Yes.
Oh, that's happening, you know, I've done that a million times, thought it would just me. Because that is what drives you crazy, is that feeling of almost like, I can't win. The clients put me here. My business has put me here. What do I do?
You're in the middle.
You're in the middle. But I've got some thoughts on that because I've had to think about this in a few situations this week and I'm always asking myself, what am I doing in my business? You know, that is one thing I always do. And you know what I came up with? We'll talk about this on the show. Is and if I forget, you'll remind me.
Oh heck yeah.
I was thinking in my head, and this has been a long time, but I realize I don't do this. I do the other thing, the more right thing to do. So as and we got to share the show. Share your show right now. Share the show right now.
Share.
But as a person, I always thought, well, my job as a business owner is to keep the client.
Of course.
It's not.
No.
It's not to keep the client. You know what it is? More importantly, your real job, get new clients. That is your job. Keeping the client, you want to do that, you want to treat them right, but it's really after you get the client, keeping them is in their hands.
It's true.
They can dump you anytime.
It's like farming, Bernie. The soil gets old.
Yeah, right.
You got to put in new soil, and you got to plant new plants.
That's right, and you have to go out and getting new clients all the time. That's the trick.
That's the key.
Because if you're losing clients, they should be the low clients, and you should be gaining higher clients. That's how you build your income.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
I really like that thought because it actually put my head in a different spot. I mean, we all want to service clients very well and do all that.
Sure.
Are you sharing the show? Are you sharing it? Do you share it to your site at least?
Oh, to my site.
Oh,
Let's
God.
see how that works.
Oh, wow. I've never done that
I've
before.
got you, Bernie.
Tony, I'm not
always
seeing
have
it
you.
on Applebox. I'm not getting it to share on
that's what I wanna
Applebox.
do.
Is it?
Applebox me.
I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Page.
Woohoo!
Yoo-hoo! That's great. I've got to get this thing going because I am not seeing it anywhere. Well, yeah, we might have to go another minute because...
Oh, yeah. Hold in there, folks. We'll be with you in a second.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, dude. Oh, there it is. All right. Don't ever do that again, Tony.
Now I'm nervous. Oh, there I am.
All right. Oh, hey, that's me.
That's me. Oh, that is me.
Oh, wait, that's me. Oh, I'm not as impressed. That's me.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 o'clock Friday, it's got to be Bernie's Applebox, and we are here live with Gary Hyman.
Woohoo!
You, bro, how you doing?
Back in the saddle.
Well, we've had a couple of we had a couple alternative approaches to this week's show, but I decided after talking to you, that we had to have the bitch session.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
what makes you crazy. what makes you crazy? I got to give a note to Tony here too.
Yes.
Our monitor is not on, Tony. When we take a break, we can do that.
Yeah.
Just want to let him know. One thing is we're going to talk about all that. We're going to do all that. But you know, Gary, one of the things that I think follows us around, and it certainly makes the life tougher as a freelancer, is that you have so many demands on you. You have so many things that are, you know, I mean, I'll just give you an example. On this next Monday, I have 6 jobs, 6 different jobs. You know, what that does to the week prior to it, you know, is just insane.
Yes.
You know, and I guess, and maybe this is my first gripe. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Is that once things go up like that, I have to just go into total sit down, get the phone, you know what I mean? And I got to have people around me that are doing things.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I cannot do them all.
Right.
You know? And the thing, and this is where I'm mad at myself for this, is I have always just gone seat of the pants. In other words, I got great guys that are grips that can come in and help me out sometimes, but I'm really missing that one person, you know what I mean, in the shop trying to get it. And it's tough to do. So this is what it goes. My experience in doing that has been this, and I totally understand it. Nobody's doing anything wrong, but it's still like a gripe with me, right? Is that I'll get a guy, I'll train him, and he'll start knowing enough to where I send him out, and then he doesn't want to be in the shop. And as soon as I send him out on one job, somebody, because he knows something, picks him up for another job. And it's, oh, I can't work for you Wednesday. I've been through about 3 guys like that. You know what I mean? And I'm proud that they all made it into the industry. But every time I'm left in the same
scenario.
The scenario, yeah. So I mean, that's just a little example of like you know what we're up against and stuff. But I know you came up with something this afternoon that I talked to you about, and we don't want to mention names here because this is, you know, the clients are still there and all that stuff.
Client privileges.
Yeah, you know. But tell me what you tell. Tell the story that you did on your billing, what you have to do with your billing. And make it brief. Don't go into a lot of detail.
Yeah. You know, we all bill in different ways.
Yeah.
And it's usually one invoice being sent out.
It always has been with me.
accounting.
It's always been one invoice.
Some clients out there now requiring 2 or 3 places you got to send your invoice.
So you have to send your same invoice to 2 or 3 different places.
Exact invoice.
All right.
And the problem with that is the original invoice that's going out to the person who gives the stamp of approval is the one that sends it to the other location where you just sent your invoice. So without that invoice being stamped, okayed, the work's been completed, to push that other invoice out.
So in other words, you got, instead of them doing it internally, you have to externally send 3, so it's like not doing it inside their company, they're expecting 3. Of course, that is fraught with disaster for the freelance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one person in the thing doesn't get the paperwork.
As soon as you add somebody else to the loop, you're asking for trouble.
Right.
So I call it a tripwire.
Yeah.
So basically...
And why do you think they're doing that?
There's only one reason. They're hoping that you're not going to send the other 2 invoices out.
They hope the pay slows down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when the pay slows down, where does the money? Sitting with them, making interest in the bank.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm just small peanuts. I'm not millions of dollars on my invoice.
No, but you are when you add yourself up 1,000 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they're doing it to me, they're doing it to all the vendors.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the issue. That's the issue.
No, that's, you know, and we don't want to say who this client is. However, what if you were to require, an individual require that company to send your bill to 3 different parties before you could pay it?
Right.
Would they do that? Not even close. Not even close.
See, I don't even require them to send me, why don't they send me 3 invitations for work then? Why don't I require that?
Why don't you get 3 days? Why don't you get 3 days? 3 days and work.
Do I force you to send 3 emails to find out if I'm available?
No.
You're kidding me.
No, yeah, they send 1 email, dude. One address.
And if you happen to miss that,
Yeah.
you're out of work.
Yeah. You know, we got some of the guys gave me, you know what, and I'm going to read Bobby Fever's first, because Bobby Fever is like one of my favorite people in the whole world. And just an awesome guy. I don't think you know him, but I've met him once, but he's been a Facebook friend for years and years.
Great.
And dude, he is so
He's
dead.
an electronic friend.
Oh yes, an electronic friend. Yeah, and he's an electric too.
Yeah, see
I
how
think
that
Griffin
works?
electric. Okay, so Bobby Fever says, "Why in God's name does the entire cast and production crew stand in doorways?" Right? How many times on set have you been in a house and
You
tried
know
to
why?
get through? Everybody's in the doorway.
You know why?
Everybody's the front door, the kitchen
You know
door,
why that
front
happens?
door. Why?
Because that's where the light goes. What do you think?
Because that's where we're going with it. Exactly. But I've got to think, because I don't know how many times people, excuse me, and I've gone over to the production manager, keep them clear from the doors. Keep them clear. It's the worst place you can stand.
That's a
because
huge
that is made to
bitch
go
on
from
my-
one
Oh,
room to I mean,
trust
every
me.
guy has every worker in our industry has that bitch who has
Absolutely.
to put something on set. You know?
It's that during a production.
Yeah.
And the worst part, after a 12-hour day,
Oh.
you want to wrap, and they're still in the hallway.
They're still in the doorway.
And they're telling you no overtime.
Yeah. Oh no.
They're blocking your
Get
way.
out of my way.
Get out of the way.
Oh my God, dude. No, he's dead on it right there. Bobby. If you got my vote for best question of the
Absolutely.
day so far. Bob.
So far.
Yeah. Okay. It's Juan Pablo Puentes. Drives me crazy. I don't know if I completely understand this point, but I get his drift. You know what I mean? When producers start asking everybody to get better price and you get 5 calls with the same list. So what they're doing is they're sending out the thing and say, hey, get us the best price you can on this. But everybody knows him. Of
course.
So they have the same
Oh, I
list.
get it.
Yeah.
It's a blanket estimate.
Yeah, it's a blanket estimate. So, I mean, he's a lucky guy. You know, Juan Pablo, you are a lucky guy with that kind of problem. And I know that because I've got people that have been in you'll understand this. How many times have you gone to work for a production company and the end client is somebody you've worked for in different production companies, and they know you better than they know the client, the person who hired you.
Too many times.
You know, I mean, that's so Juan Pablo is in that position. I'm sure he's the go-to guy.
Yeah, and if you want to drive everybody crazy, just send it all back to everybody at the same price.
Oh, well, I would more advise adding 10% to
that's a
everybody,
given.
frankly, because that's another thing. That's another bitch session we're going to have today is money.
Oh, sure.
We're going to bitch the hell out of that one. I'll tell you, I'm. You know what? If you think I was radical before, I've gone jihad now. I'm jihad. I'm total jihad. Now is about the money. That is what you got to get. And you know what? I've had some great feedback on this too. You know, I had some great clients come into town, some repeat clients. But dude, for about 2 weeks there, everybody I met is bringing up a subject that we're talking about here on Applebox. One kid, and I don't want to name names, even though this is nothing derogative, but I just always worry about, I don't have permission to use their name in these stories, and so I want to be careful with them. But this one kid said, they were so excited when he saw me, you know what I mean? And I had met him before, you know what I mean? Sure. So, I mean, we knew each other, but he had been watching for a long time. I hadn't seen him in 3 or 4 years. And oh man, he was just, I love your show. I love what you're doing. I love what you're talking about. But you know what? You remember my thing when I said raise your rate $50 right now, and I'm saying it again.
Again.
Well, you raised it last time 50. Another 50
Yes.
now. And here is what he said. He goes, I watched your show. He goes, Monday I came into the job, and he told his boss, who is also a friend of mine, they were both out of the shoot. He goes, we're raising this package $1,000. The package they were offering was $5,000. Raised it $1,000. He goes, watch. He goes, I'll bet nobody even notices. No one questioned
course,
it. No
of
one
course.
questioned a $1,000 raise on a package. Why? Because it was underpriced first, I'm sure. Because
yes.
when you're pricing something
got a hook.
yourself, you beat
Gotta hook
yourself
it.
down.
Of course, you gotta hook
beat yourself down. And then he says, you know what I mean? They raised that 1,000, and it just all their problems from doing that at 5,000 went away.
Here's the deal, Burnie. We're all below the line. And I
Yeah.
think I brought this up before. We're bottom feeders.
We're bottom feeders.
At the end of the day.
We're bottom
and
feeders.
no matter, if you raise your price $100 a day.
You're still not charging enough.
It's not enough, but it's not even a blip on their radar.
No.
They're making 99% of the profit on the deal.
Oh.
That's the whole deal.
You pulled my Kathy cord,
Bam!
didn't you? Now I'm
Yes.
the talking doll. Okay. So here is what's going on. No one in this industry or this world pays you what you're worth.
No.
They are naturally, I'm going to do it, Gary's going to do it, everybody's going to do this. We're going to pay you to where we can make money off of you. And let me tell you, and I'll give you the best example that I can right now that illustrates this. The movie actor who makes $20 million a picture.
Right.
Okay. No one is giving that person $20 million. The actor is accepting that fee so that the person that paid him can take the risk to go out and make $100 million, maybe $1 billion off that project. Okay, so that guy who's cutting the check for $20 million is not doing it out of the goodness of his heart. He is not doing it because he loved the last performance the actor gave. He is doing it so he can earn $1 billion. I think we might have a question. Tony? Oh, put your camera on, Tony. We got to see it, bro.
What
Come
is
on.
that, Tony, with that big M?
Yeah, with the big M.
Is that all about me?
Or the internet, or whatever the hell it is I'm on this week. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Tony? Sorry I didn't introduce you.
It's all good. Everybody knows I'm here. Somebody's got to be.
Yeah,
putting
somebody's
this-
got to
be
somebody's
behind
got
the
to do the
curtain.
work.
Somebody's got to be behind
We're the talkers. Tony's the worker.
All right, so Edward Yukin.
Oh,
Our good buddy
Edward, man,
he
he was on the show 2 weeks, 3 weeks
ago. I don't know. I don't know. They all blur together, but he was an awesome guest. Thanks for coming on the show, Edward. He is watching over on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
And
Thank you, Edward. Thank
his
you.
comment is something. Last minute cancellations after they put a hold on my schedule for several days.
Ooh. Last minute, I guess I would have to define that as within 24 hours.
Yes.
Because 24 hours or within, by the way.
24, yes.
And that goes at a midnight timeline, not the you can be liberal and give them the call time.
Yeah, the real.
But the real time is 12 noon
Yeah.
on that day.
Yeah.
If it's 24 hours before that, they cancel. That is where you get your fee.
Sure.
Cancellation fee. Now, I don't know if this is the exact case with Edward, but this is where most people run into the buzzsaw.
Sure.
You know, I only can make it happen because I have some clout. I have a credit card from them. I have all that. However, someone like Edward or somebody who's just a day player is probably going to take the job. The job may have come through a second party too,
Sure.
not directly. But unless you have a credit card to charge, you have to ask if you're going to get a cancellation fee. And generally I find, and this is with me too, nobody is bringing up the cancellation policy when you're getting the job.
Of course not.
Why? Because that's all happy talk. Good
right.
news.
Like,
you know,
good
I got a
news.
job. I'm doing well. You know, but that is the time to bring it up. You have to
Absolutely.
say I do it. And here's the other thing, and this bothers me. Don't ask the client.
Tell
the client. When they say, or could I get a cancellation fee? Because you say up front in the original conversation, when you're talking about your craft, when they're talking about you being on their set, you say, I do have a policy of 24 hours notice cancellation, you know. And I'll tell you this, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. And for a lot of people, it's not, you know, if you're in the union and getting union jobs, you know, this probably advice doesn't apply, but a lot of people are not in that situation, you've got to figure out as a freelancer, as an individual, okay, that you're going to have to get a credit card from your clients, you know, because I'll tell you, I've just kept hearing all these stories about people that are, a whole crews are not getting paid.
Horror stories.
You know? Horror stories. You've got to do something to protect yourself. Now, as your clout grows and your career goes, you know, you can get to better productions and make more money and not put up with that crap. But until then, you have to have a way of getting that cash from them.
Here's the deal, Burnie. What I always get from clients is that, sorry, it's within 24 and they say, sorry, the job went away. Did you lose any work by taking my job?
Yeah.
And I used to go, well, no, not really. You know, just in the beginning, I always, you know, would let them slide. Then I figured out one thing. Once you get booked,
Yeah.
maybe 3-4 days before the shoot,
Yeah.
you call and you verify. Not even call. I'm so sorry. Email.
Email.
Is the shoot
Email.
still on?
Email.
And if you want to go one step further and you want to tell that little white lie,
Yeah. I've got a conflict.
exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Say, somebody offered me a 3-day job, and I said, no, I'm with XYZ company.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm securing them because they're securing me.
Right. Right. Right.
So you got an email paper trail.
Email paper trail is the best advice you could give anybody, Gary, right there, because that is actually, an email is a legal document.
Absolutely.
You know, it's provable, accepted in court as that, you know, and that is so important. But, of course, what do you want to do? You'll want to avoid the situation at all costs, because by the time that you have to take a client to small claims court for a cancellation fee, I mean, you know, you're probably giving up a day of work just to do that.
But remember, an email takes nothing.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 right to the client.
Yes.
Hey, are we still on?
Yes.
I just got another job offer.
Yeah.
And then they return the email and they said, oh yeah, job's still on. I want you.
Yeah. Then you've got
You
something
book,
to
line and signature.
That's right.
And it does another thing for you.
Okay.
It shows that you're busy.
Yes. Yes. That's the
There you
other
go.
thing. You're exactly right. You're telling the client, look, I'm in demand.
I'm in demand.
Don't waste my time.
Exactly.
Don't waste my time.
Right. So, and one more thing I want to add on.
I can tell you're getting a little fired up.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
can see it in there.
Oh,
It's
God, my
simmering.
blood
He
pressure.
hasn't exploded yet. Don't worry. We'll see.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So, so here's the other deal too. On big productions,
Yeah.
there's a thing called production insurance.
Yes.
That the producer takes
It's
out.
actually not just on big productions.
Well,
it should be on all
it
sides.
should be on all.
Yeah,
But- but-
don't get me going. Don't get me going.
Oh, I
on
know.
that.
And then within the production insurance, trust me,
Yeah.
there's something in there that says if there's a cancellation, we're going to pay that cancellation
Yeah.
for that day.
Yeah.
That was that day that was gone.
Right.
So, so don't let the producer take that money.
Yeah, no. And look, I have paid cancellation fees myself, personally, you know, for things that I've booked people on, and then I made the mistake, and somebody else made the mistake, you know what I mean? Whatever. It's on me. You know what I mean? I've done it, and it's right to do. You are actually taking the person's day that's holding it. That person sells their days and their professionalism to you for that day. That's what you've reserved because you need that reservation.
Sure,
You know what I mean? And if you don't come through, now I have given half days to a lot of people probably who canceled on me, but you don't have to. Within 24 hours,
Right.
You should have the full day.
You should have a full day.
You know,
I always heard the term 48 hours, you get a half day rate. 24 hours, it's a full day rate. I've heard of that in the past.
You know what? I suppose I go with sort of the 24-hour thing and
Right,
the
and
48.
just,
You know what I mean? If you cancel with me in 48 hours, in all honesty, right or wrong, and it may be
Gonna let 'em
wrong,
slide.
I'm going to let them slide because I get that, and there is time to salvage the day.
Right.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And I'm very upfront with guys too. When I hold them, I try to hold them that I never say, hey, the job is 100%, it's going to go.
Right.
It's like, you know, no doubt about it.
Sure.
Although I will say about 95% of my jobs that come to fruition, you know what I mean, are on the day they said they were going to be.
Sure.
So some of them slip, some of them go down, you know what I mean, a day or two, but most of them are dead on for a lot of reasons.
Well,
you know.
well, and you got to take in consideration why the shoot was canceled.
Yeah.
You know, the actor got sick, bad weather. You know, so you got to see both sides. But they still are holding you.
Yeah, I advocate being fair with
and it's
people.
depending on the client. If it's your usual client that you've made 90% of your grind for the year,
that's a different
you've
situation.
Got to make a decision.
That's
at
a
that
different
point.
situation. Let me give you an example on that too, because this just came up yesterday. Okay, we're dealing with one of these situations for our production company, right? For the production company we're working for. They're doing 2 days of stage, okay, and then they're doing 2 days with my truck somewhere else on location at a house, right? So they've booked all 4 days with the same crew, because that makes sense, right? So in this first production, they wanted to get a better price on all this stuff. Think about what they have to do. They have to go into a stage and rent all the gear from them for 2 days.
Yes.
Then they got to come out and rent all the gear from us for 2 days.
Absolutely.
So they're trying to figure out, how do I make this and I get a 3-day week, and you know what I mean? I can save some money on the production. I totally relate to that. But in the whole mix, it's so difficult with that stage and to do this. I told Brad, you know, because we're going back and forth with it, and it's like, well, if they do this, then we can do that. And I
Scenarios.
go, look, just ask the client, and this is a regular client, just ask the client, what is easiest and best for you, and that's what we'll do. So I don't care, even I as God is my witness, I mean this. I don't care if I'm making any money on that job.
Right.
This client has been so good to us. Their loyalty, they come back, you know what I mean, is there. They've proven that. Yeah, if I got to eat it on one, I'll eat it on one for the client. It's not like that, you know what I mean? I'm not holding them to like, oh, you got to be perfect every time. It's got to work in my favor every time.
Here's the deal. Loyalty is priceless.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if they keep coming back for more, they want to feed it the trough.
Yeah.
Let them have whatever they want. The other day, it was so funny. I told my client, I said, if any of my crew guys that I bring on, if you ask them to do something, you say, hey, can you tape down that cable? Can you secure that? And if my crew member says no, immediately, please come to me.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because
you
that guy's off the set.
Yeah.
Immediately. My crew, I don't care if it's my dog ate my homework,
dude, I'd fire
I'm out of gaffer's tape, whatever.
Yeah.
And even if the client asks for something that's impossible to take care of, you always say yes.
And then go to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'll make sure it happens.
Right. Right.
Why do you? No should be thrown out of the English language when it comes to customer service.
Oh. You know what? Look, I'm somebody.
As long as it's not illegal.
You know, here's the thing with me, Gary, is like, obviously, I'm successful because of my clients. That is why I'm successful, because of the people that put the trust in me. I don't want to ever betray that trust. You know what I mean? I want to do that. But I can't do everything either. You know what I mean? And there are some things. I'll tell you what here's, okay, another, oh, you want it? Okay, here's another bitch. Here's another bitch right here. So, and this is a true story. This is a true story. It all happened between like 2 days ago and today, even this morning. It's still going, it's going on right now. I had a guy call me. I did a job for a guy 2 weeks ago, okay? And I had another producer from New York call me about another job the same guy is doing. Producer's in New York, but this guy lives out here, right? And he said, you did such a fantastic job. They were so thrilled with the people that you sent in. Everything was great. And he's called and asked me again to see if you're available on these days and for this shoot. And it's coming right up, you know. And I go, you know what, we are. But this guy ground last time, you know what I mean? And in fact, I actually turned the guy down at one point and says, sorry, I can't do the job under that. You know what I mean? And the reason being is he wanted to pay my guys $400 for 12. You know, and I was able to work something out to, you know, I put it in the guy's court. I said, do you want this job? Don't worry about saying yes to me. You know what I mean? If you want it, it is available, whatever. 2 guys took it, so I said, you know, I've got your guys and they'll go at that rate. So the producer from New York who called me about this new job, so he goes, I'll give you an email, I'll send out everything we got, you know. So it's the same exact deal.
Sure.
You know, he wants to just pay like $1,000 for the gear.
Right.
And the 2 guys are $400 for 12. I called the producer back and I go, you know, I understand what he wants and I can see why he's calling back because he wants the same package. I go, but I'm not going to do the job unless these guys get $550 for 12. That's it. So I'm taking my money and throwing it away.
Right.
And I don't even have 2 guys assigned for the imaginary 2 guys that I would have had.
Sure.
I'm going to fight for them. But I am done with that bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
I am done with that bullshit. I depend on these guys. These guys are my lifeblood. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And I am not selling anybody down the river for some $350 job just so I can go get my crap on it. I don't want that client.
No.
I don't want that client. You know?
Because it can only go worse from there.
It can
trust
only
me.
go down. It's not going to
Because he
go
goes,
up.
I got you down before.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm coming back with a lower budget.
But they called back. They called back and they came up.
See?
They came
See?
up. Yeah.
But here's the deal. In the client's head, they go, I'm only paying $400 for labor.
Yeah.
So if it was me, I said, no problem. I'll $400 for labor. But now the gear's $1,500.
Yeah.
And then I'll give my guys the extra money. And then he goes, that's great. And he never knows what hit him.
Right.
Because he got his way for the $400 for 12. But guess what? You're going to give your guys a cut off the gear.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, dude. It's amazing.
It's always a
but
chess play.
here is what I am saying, though. Here is what I'm saying. You got to have some cojones and put them on the table. You got to stop worrying about this. I'll lose the client bullshit. Yeah. Okay? Your job is to get the client.
Yeah.
It is not to keep the client. Keeping the client is up to the client, not you.
That's right.
Your job and your only job is to go get more clients. That's why you don't spend your marketing money on who you've got already. Your marketing money and sales money goes out to get new clients. That's right. And you've got to do that. Every single freelancer has got to quit worrying about who he's working for. And I'll tell you what, if you want to know who to stop working for, look at your paycheck receipts and who's paying the most.
Right.
Who will come up. Those are the clients you want. And I know that sounds hard. I'm not that hard like on people, you know, but I will tell you this. If you think you can defer your money to somebody else's project throughout your entire life and do anything except live in your car or the streets when you're my age, you're dreaming. Okay? You're just flat out dreaming. You don't know how many guys. Look, Gary, I'm in this peer group. I'm in this peer group.
I know.
I mean, I know guys living in their cars because they don't have enough money.
At the end of the day, Burnie, we all have to remember, we're making everybody rich off our backs.
Just what I said about the movie thing. You give the actor $20 million, the
Exactly.
producer's getting $1 billion. You know, I'm not saying every project has that dynamic. I'm just saying, look, you can't give your money for the producer to feel better or make his nut while you're not making yours.
Every shoot is a formula.
Yeah.
And within the formula, the money rolls downhill.
That's right.
And at the end, there are so many hands catching the money.
Oh, dude.
If the check isn't being cut to you directly, you're the last guy in line to get paid.
I'll tell you what.
And there's nothing left when it comes to us.
Yep.
Here's what I want to explain to Freelancerville out there. This is what I want to say to
Freelancerville.
This is what I want to say
That's
to
where I
all
live.
Freelancerville.
A nice town.
When we get hired for a job, we accept the day rate, whatever it is. We show up to a shoot and we give 150%
Absolutely.
of our ability and
Absolutely.
our experience. That's a given right off the bat. We're not phoning it in because if we do, we ain't
we're
coming
dead.
back.
We're dead.
done. So every day we show up, it's
It's
that
game
day to
time.
shine.
It's game
You
time.
got to be on time.
Yeah.
You got to be dressed nicely. You got to
Yeah.
speak nicely.
Yeah.
You got to perform at your highest level.
Exactly.
Our
Every single
job-
time.
Our job is so different from an 8 to 5
Oh.
job because
World's
they're on a
different.
set scale of work. Our set scale of work is like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got to deal with the drive home.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Right?
You know
After
what?
getting the piece of
I'll
crap
give you
out of 'em.
I'll give you two analogies of the difference in employment, and I mean no disrespect by this analogy either, but I think it does somewhat. You know, I mean, I think it kind of shows what it is. If you're a freelancer and you sort of own your own business, you are your own business. You know, and
Absolutely.
guys like Gary and myself, we got other gear and stuff, so we're actually incorporated and officially running a business.
Right.
But otherwise, now I want you to think of that group, the freelancers, and then there's the employees, the people that work for it. And I'm just going to give you this analogy, and it's not meant to be derogatory, but you are like a farm animal on a farm. You've got your purpose. You are fed. You don't have to look for your food. You've got it up there. You've got all that. And you're thinking, life is good. I don't have to work for my food. I sit right here every day, right on time. I get the same thing. I love it. There's a yard, plenty of grass to eat, all this. But when your time is over, it's lights out. Oh, it's lights out because you're going to the sausage factory next, right? And there is nothing, and that's 100%. Now, the freelancer is the buffalo on the
outskirts.
on the plane.
On the plane.
On the plane. He doesn't have anything to do except look for food all day.
that's all.
And that's what we do as the freelancers. So there's something with a thing called security, which I don't believe people that are employed have security. I don't personally believe that. But you feel like you're secure because you're getting this paycheck every week. That's a trap. And when you're in a trap or on the farm, sooner or later, you're going to outlive your usefulness as an animal. And when you do, it's lights out. You know what I mean? So as a freelancer, we have to be aware of that. And as a freelancer, we have more opportunity to make money. This is the really exciting thing. We have the opportunity to go out there and raise our rates and improve our skills and make more money, just as you do in employment too.
Absolutely.
But here, it's direct. Here you're dealing with your own and you're negotiating for yourself.
Absolutely.
So I think those things. One thing that I would like to see all my freelance buddies do right now is say, great, I just want to send in an agreement, a letter of intent for work. You sign it, I sign it, and you know I'm holding for you, so if I fail, then you've got some recourse. If you fail, I've got some recourse.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Smart.
And you know what? People are going to be resistant to it. People are not going to want to do it at first. But I'll tell you what, if you're the person they want to really hire, they'll do it.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference.
And it works for them too.
It works for them too.
It's a two-way street.
That's right. That's right. You can put any language you want in there, like say 12 hours before, then it's a cancellation fee, or 48 hours, whatever you and the client agree to, but something's got to be in writing.
Well, it's called a deal memo.
Deal memo. That's what I was actually trying to
I
think of.
figured,
Thank
yeah,
you,
tip of
Gary.
your tongue.
Thank you. Thank you. Interrupt sooner next time.
Next time I will.
Yeah.
So, speaking of interrupting,
Yeah. I'm
let's
sorry,
get
I'm just
back
trying to get the
getting
Applebox.
paid. This
Yeah.
getting paid business.
Oh, God, dude, it is such a nightmare.
It
is such a
it's
nightmare.
beyond. As a freelancer, like I said, we've got to get the job, do the job, and get paid.
Yes.
Those are the three basic functions
That is
of a
it.
freelancer.
That's our job.
If you break it down, those are
That's
the three.
what we do.
So don't expect them to take care of you to
Absolutely.
get paid. That's the last
Absolutely.
thing on the company's mind,
Yeah.
the payout.
Yeah.
So you have to make as much energy as getting the job, doing the job, to getting paid.
Right.
It has to be equal energies.
Right.
So even if you send in an invoice, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh.
That's just you're cracking the door open.
Yes.
With that, you slip it under the door.
Right.
What's happening behind the door?
Wait,
We
you
have
don't
no
know.
clue.
You don't know.
JoJo's, off work for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Everything gets pushed.
Oh yes, oh yes. Their vacation time is in front of your labor and pay. Yeah. No, it's like, I'm sorry. Does this organization not have like a backup if this person's
are you
leaving?
kidding
What
me?
happens if they break an ankle? You know what I mean?
Listen, at the end of the day, they have every excuse not to pay you.
Yeah.
Because if they're holding the money from everybody, all their vendors,
Yes.
guess what happens? They're making interest because they've already got paid.
You know what? And it could be something other than just making interest. Interest is their motivation. You know what I mean? Here's what I'm really afraid of. Not the interest, because that means they've got the money.
Right.
How many of these guys are paying the last job they did with the check that they got for the one you're on?
That's exactly. I'm Peter to pay Paul. I
Peter
couldn't
to
get
pay
it out.
Paul. Peter to pay Paul.
That's exactly
and
what's
so
going on.
that's another thing you've got to look at. I've been caught in that trap. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I know we all want to be nice. I mean, I try honestly very hard to be myself, because I have a lot of empathy and compassion for anybody in this industry. You know what I mean? Producers, makeup, it doesn't matter. You're in this industry. I know you're fighting for your dollar.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's no doubt. But let me tell you, when it comes down to putting the meat on the table, okay, you got to be a hard ass. And you can't be afraid. And let me tell you something else too. Don't threaten.
Yeah.
Don't threaten. Do not go in there and say, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. Forget that.
Yeah.
You just tell them, I need my pay. I'm owed my pay, and I want my pay on this date.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's no or after that.
Right.
There's no threat. I want my pay on this date. And you can say that on the phone, but that should be followed up by an email with the date and time of the conversation and what you said. Also, here's another tip. After you send that invoice in, the next day, you email the person you sent it to, I just want to confirm you received my invoice.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if there's no answer to that, you do it a next day and the next day. The third day, you better hear an alarm bell somewhere, because somebody is flat out ignoring you.
Exactly.
You know,
Silence is
silence
deadly.
is deadly. Silence is deadly.
They're
And
running from you.
they're running from you, and they're admitting they can't pay that.
Of course.
In my mind,
Of course.
you know, because you get back to somebody when they ask about money.
Sure. You know, it's the electronic age.
Yeah.
And I don't like to give up my banking account number to anybody.
Well, no.
But I will tell you that check in the mail doesn't work anymore. Electronic deposit does.
Yes.
That works for me.
Yes.
Boom. Hey, I'm on the phone. I'm sitting in front of my computer.
Yeah.
Can you please pay me?
Yeah.
Oh, can I put it in the mail? No.
Yeah.
Can you pay me electronically? Great. Bink. There
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
It's in.
Yeah.
No more dog ate my homework excuses.
Yeah. No more. Yeah. In fact, I think that's something you should put in that letter of agreement, that I want arch pay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or another way. Now, I advocate the credit card,
Of
but
course.
that is personal if people don't do it. The one thing that I will take issue with is when people tell me this. Oh, I don't want a 3%. I don't want to lose. Dude, you're not going to discount that thing 3% if somebody pays you cash right now?
I'll give them.
What are you
10%.
talking about?
I'll give them 10%. Because you know why I'll give them 10%? Because I'm going to mark up their invoice 10% next time. Trust, 20%.
Exactly.
There's a price to pay for discounts.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, I did the same thing. When I started, I go, wow, they're taking some percentage off. I go, I'd give them 5% right now for cash on the table.
What's the old saying? Money in hand is a bird in the caca,
what is
whatever
it?
it
Bird in
is.
the hand, worth two in the bush.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we got another question here. What's going on, Tony?
We have another comment
Another comment.
from our good friend William Primrose.
William Primrose. William wrote on the other thing, my thing this morning too. I wonder if it's
Yes,
the
he
same
did.
one. Go ahead.
Not quite the same.
Okay.
I saw that one.
Gotcha.
As I've said before, I will not move my truck until I'm paid upfront 100%.
Yes.
Sometimes I get flack over it, yet they pay it. 50% deposit to hold the truck. I'm not a bank or a credit card company.
Thank you, William. Thank you. That's very close to that one comment that I was going to read. That is awesome. And you know what, William? That's why you're still in business, buddy.
Absolutely.
That's why you're still in business right there, is because you did. Everybody has a passion project, and everybody is sure that their one is going to be the hit wonder. It's going to go viral. It's going to have 1 million, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, we're carpenters, and we're
Absolutely.
building something. That's what it is.
And
we
there's
need
a
to be
million of us.
Yes, and there's 1 million. And we're not taking, we don't want a piece of your money after you finish your project.
Exactly, that's
either.
his.
We're taking, that's yours. But William, thank you, buddy. That is absolutely awesome. The truck doesn't move until you get 50% down, and then the day
That's
up.
great.
Yeah.
And also for camera guys, and
Oh,
camera owners.
this is where the camera guys
This is where they
constantly
win.
get-
This is where they win.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a win-win for them. You don't give up the media until you see the check.
No, please, absolutely. You do not give
don't
the media.
transfer it.
No.
You hold on to
No.
it. And here's another problem. They'll go, oh, can I just take the media with me and I'll give it back to you in about a week? Well, they're holding your cards. How are you going to shoot something else?
Well,
That's a problem,
I would
too.
say don't give up your cards.
No
That's
way.
true. But in the sense that, first of all, put the cash on the barrelhead. But I'll tell you, in this day and age, because it used to be easier to do that. When it was a tape deck,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You kept the tapes. But now they're downloading it. They can do whatever. You know what I mean? You need a new card. Are you going to put that card in your pocket and secure it? Also, this client has just paid a lot of money for that. You really got the cojones as the DP now. Remember, you're not just some Joe Blow sitting in the seat.
Oh, no.
You're the DP. Are you really going to look at that producer and go, no, you're not touching this until I get paid?
Ah,
you know what?
you got it.
I mean, yes, you've got to, but how many people are secure enough to do that? That's what I'm getting at. That was my point about, your job is to get new clients, not keep the old ones. You know what I mean? And I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying not get rid of your current clients, but your focus and energy should be on the new clients. You know what I
Here's the
mean?
deal.
I think a lot of people are afraid to do what you're talking about.
Of course, but here's
Yeah.
the deal. In the old days,
Right.
in the old days, and you brought this up, the client would show up with a case of tape.
Right.
Well, did he buy that tape? Yes, he did, because
Yeah.
he bought it, he brought it.
Yeah.
Who owns that tape?
Him.
He does. So at the end of the shoot, you have to give up that. That's his ownership. Yeah, his images are on there that he hired you to put on,
Right.
but that's his. But now, today, unless he brings the chips, you own the chips. That's your property.
You know what? I had never actually thought about that.
I thought about this for
Yeah, of course
20
you do.
years.
I know you're awake at 2 in the
Hey,
morning
I'm 2 in the
thinking
morning
about
going-
that.
going, see, most people count sheep.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
count time code.
You poor guy, Gary. I never knew you had it that bad. I never.
Past due invoices.
Past-
Who am I going to hire?
You know what? True story, though. True story. And this is. I don't know how much sleep I have lost in my career worrying about money, worrying about clients. I'll tell you, I finally came to a point of where, either I'm going to accept the loss or I'm going to go hell on wheels to get it back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, there is a difference too. Some things are not worth your fight.
No, exactly. Pick your battles.
Pick your battles.
Pick your
Is a
battles.
very, very good point.
And while we're on the subject of invoices, let's
Right.
talk about way past due
Ooh,
invoices.
way past due.
Where the client just keeps stringing you. My kid has to go to college. I got to send him to summer camp.
Not your
Here's the deal.
problem.
Here's the deal. That client already got paid for his passion
Right.
project or whatever it is.
Right.
He's got the money.
Yeah.
He's supposed to pay by law.
Yeah.
He hired you.
Right.
It's by law. The problem is if you wait too long, you're going to miss that window for a small claims court. And that's what happened to me.
Well, and that's 3 years. That's 3 years. If you're letting the client slide in that kind of time frame, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to. I would say everything comes to a head within 6 months, and I think that's probably too long. of a
That's
time.
way too long.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because they're gone. They've run.
Yeah.
If they're not paying you, they already changed their name.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You should. Well, that's another thing. Production companies change their names
come
all the
and
time.
go.
They disband that LLC and they're a new
sure.
LLC. But I'll tell you what. if it has been any more than I'd say a couple weeks and you haven't got your money, you need to start following up. Do not wait for 30 days. Do not wait for 30 days. And I'll tell you another thing, because I know this with myself. If you kind of have a queasy feeling like it might not be good, it's not good. It's not good. And you got to start treating it like somebody is running with your money.
You got to remember one thing. Here's the deal. If they don't hear from you,
yeah.
If you don't, they don't hear you scratching.
Right.
Go, where's my money?
Where's my money? Where's
you know what
my
they're
money?
thinking?
What?
He doesn't need the money.
Oh no, he doesn't care about the money.
Yeah,
he's working all the time. He charges this much every day. God, I wish I made that.
I got to tell you just a quickie story. One of my clients, I'm not going to tell, I was talking to their payroll department.
Right.
You know, getting paid.
Yeah.
And I go, you know, my invoice has been sitting there for a while. Don't you think somebody should have reached out to me to say, hey, you know, change of address, you know, went to the wrong house, whatever the excuse was.
Yeah.
I go, why aren't you reaching out to people and just saying, hey, you know, sorry, this, that, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Why aren't you
well,
saying,
why are you sitting on my money?
Right.
And you know what she said to me?
What?
She says, well, we've got some people who get checks and they never cash them. They leave them in their drawer for 6 months before they cash them. Then they call us and complain to us saying, oh, this went over 180 days. Can I reissue the check? Who does that?
Oh, wait a minute. What kind of excuse is that?
Come on. What?
Some people do this. Yeah. Some people don't change their underwear. Yeah. I mean, what, do we stop going on the bus? I mean, come on. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Here's the deal for production companies out there.
Yeah.
If somebody hasn't cashed their check, please call them and find out why.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Because here's the problem.
You know what?
It's just floating out there. The money's floating. Where is it? Electronic world?
I will say this.
Wow.
Here's the only defense. How many companies are slashing employees? You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Most people just have enough time to do the assigned work that day.
Right.
They have no time to take on any other kind of custodial duties to do that. And here's another thing. You know what I mean? Because I cut a lot of checks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I cut every week. A lot to me. I mean, I probably cut 30 checks a week, easily.
Sure.
Without much problem. You know what I mean? Not even trying.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, I mean, with that, I can't, although I kind of do, I can't track who has gone out and who has done what. Now, where it will happen on that is if I've got something in the bank and Connie is going back with the financials and going, oh, wait a minute, this has been 60 days, this hasn't been cashed, then we follow up. But that is only
That's
really...
nice of you to do that.
It's really not nice. I mean, we are trying
It's business.
we're trying to ascertain where our money is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you... and most of the time, it is because somebody has forgotten it. Occasionally, they didn't get it. You know what I mean? But most of the time, somebody is like, oh, I didn't cash that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or something like that. And sometimes it's because they didn't get it. You know, maybe we screwed up or whatever.
99% they didn't get it.
Yeah.
But nobody keeps their check in their drawer for 6 months.
Well,
who does that?
I hate to disagree with you. However, there is a personal thing that I did one time that I think is funny. And this comes back to this is under the heading of you're probably making too much money.
Yes, yes.
So, but what it was is I remember I was going up for on a trip with my wife for a week in Napa, and of course we're excited about that.
Sure.
It was around Christmas time. In fact, we left Christmas Day. So I got 2 checks like the day before, December 24th. We go down there. It's like I had the 2 checks. They mailed them out before the holidays. Thank God. You know what I mean? You can do it. Each check was for $1,980. So I had close to $4,000 in checks. Well, we've got these, and I'm planning on putting them in the bank when I'm on the road. But I can't do it that day because it's Christmas, right?
Sure.
So, and this is something I always blame on my wife. Our glove box is completely stuffed. I mean, it's like not just stuffed, but it's like you kind of slip the paper in there. So this thing is a nightmare, right? I throw the checks in there thinking, well, when we get up to Napa, we'll go ahead and do that tomorrow. And Well, tomorrow came and went.
Oh, sure.
The next day came and went, and we're on vacation. This is the last thing I'm thinking of. You know what I mean? And the year has been good too, I might add.
Sure.
So we're covered through January. We're nothing pressing. Well, 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, and I'm calling the client back, going, "Hey, are these things coming through?" And so she goes, "We sent them. We sent them. You got them, and all that." They sent me new ones. 6 months later, dude, when I'm in that glove box.
Let me tell you what I do, Bernie.
Oh, my
you know what I
God.
do? When I'm expecting a check, I go out to the street and I'm already taking pictures of the
I
mailman.
know you are.
And I mean, he's trying to trying into my mailbox. I'm sticking my hand
my
out the
God.
mailbox and grabbing the checks in, and I'm ripping the envelope open,
my
and I'm
God.
walking and taking the picture of the checks, and it's gone.
Oh,
it's in my
that's
account.
hilarious. That's hilarious. What's happening, Gary? Or Tony?
Oh, I guess we overloaded.
Did we?
Overloaded Facebook.
We maxed them out. We maxed them out. I think we're still on. Are we still streaming?
We're still streaming.
I don't know what
trippy.
happened to our picture. We might get more viewers this way, though.
Yeah.
You know that?
It just-
I mean, nothing. They turn on us. It's like you can't change the channel fast
Yeah,
enough.
see,
you
now
know?
you're stuck with
Yeah.
us.
Now it is a podcast.
Now we just
Now
talk
it's a
about
podcast.
Oh, my
That's
God.
it. That's it.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
let's continue on, though. I don't know. Tony will get this squared away.
He'll get it.
But you know what? I think, these problems all happen when you're successful.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The better job you do, the more of these types of problems you have. I just want everybody to know that, I come back to this again and again. Your job is to get clients. I want people to start thinking again about how much it takes to make a living. And forget about living. How much does it take to live and retire? I used to be this guy. I was this guy for more than 40 years of my life. How much do you need to make? Well, let's see. I need to make a house payment. I need to pay for the car. I need food. I got to do this. I got to do that. I want a little something. I said, that's what I need to make. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. What I need to do is make 3 times that. And I'll tell, minimum, right, Gary? You need to make 3 times the amount that it takes you to live in order to make sure you survive and have a career and live your life out in the industry that you want to work in. So if you think it takes you, well, let me just say this. It takes $86,000 a year in LA to have a 1-bedroom apartment by yourself and get 2 weeks off and have a little bit of savings. That takes $86,000.
Wow.
Those are not my numbers.
And that's net.
That's net. That's that. Yes, you have to make that net. You know what I mean? So you got to make some real dollars. But in order to make that, you have to work 149 days a year at $600.
Great math.
Unless you are doing that, okay, unless you are making that money, you haven't even started yet.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Because it's not going to say, that is a tough thing. You think about it, 140 days, which is 12 days a month.
That's right.
Okay? You have to make $600 each and every time that you go out. Now, you get to that point, now you start thinking about, how do I triple my money from here? And you know what? I think this, and I used to be this guy once again. I'd look at that dollar sign and go, I can't do that. I'm not even close to that. I'm not even halfway there. You can do that. You can do that, and you must do that. And I'll tell you, you don't have to even have some kind of solid plan. You have to have the desire.
Sure.
I've done this my whole life. I'm not smart enough, nor do I have the attention span to sit there and map out the next 6 months, much less the next 6 years.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What I want is, I see a goal and I go for it. And it's not everything that has to line up to that goal. But I know by my vision, of where I'm going and what I need to do, the path will take me there.
Absolutely.
The path will take me to that place. You have to desire it, you have to think about it, and you have to be, you can't be anybody's patsy.
No.
You've got to tell them what they're going to do, not them telling you what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
You decide your worth.
Yeah.
You don't let the client decide your worth. When they want you, you say, this is what it takes to get that kind of candy. Hey, there's Tony.
Hey,
Tony.
at least Tony's camera's
Tony's
working.
there. His camera's
Thank God.
working. I think he's taken over. We're back. We're back. We're probably losing viewers at a hell of a rate right now.
Everybody's still watching.
Oh, that's
The audio
good.
was
Thank
still
you.
there.
Who?
The audio was still there.
Oh, that's
thank
good.
God.
That's
Swapped
good.
up, so they could hear it, they just couldn't see it.
All right, good. Well, we're here now.
Hey, you got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Wait,
2
wait,
minutes.
I got
2
more.
minutes. Okay, but
We're going to
wait,
do an
there's
expanded
more.
version of Bernie's Applebox. Now it's going to be Gary's Applebox.
Yeah, there it is.
And we're
there
going to
it
go
is.
on an extra half hour.
There it is. You are going to host a show. I'm
No,
going.
that's right.
Yeah,
Bernie's
you are going to
going,
host
yeah.
a show. So that'll
I'm
be fun.
super excited.
I wonder who your guest is going to be.
Myself. I'm going to interview myself.
I should do that sometime. I should
course
ask the
you
question.
should.
We got this green screen. We should do that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
that's great.
Well, listen.
I want to
yeah.
wrap up by saying this real quick.
Yeah.
We've talked about the front end, the middle end of this business, the back end, and you better start saving your nuts for the future.
Oh, my God.
Because been there, done that, and our biggest problem is we're so busy at surviving
Yes.
the day we
Yes.
don't we forget about tomorrow and the future. And we're always keeping up with the Joneses, buying new gear. We got nothing left for 401k.
I'll tell you what. You're absolutely right about that. Don't survive. Thrive.
Yes.
Thrive.
Yes.
Have it all. Have it all. Don't stop at enough. You know what I mean? Take it. Take it all.
Absolutely.
I want to get that through people's heads. You're in the best position. You're a freelancer. You're not working for the man. Make use of that. Now, the tendency that I had, and a lot of people could fall into, I'm so glad I got a day off. You know what I mean? You don't have to go out and kill it every day, but have momentum. Go in one direction.
If I could say
Don't go
one thing,
backwards.
you're in control of your own destiny.
Thank you.
At the end of the day.
I think we'll leave it right there. You're in control of your own destiny. All right?
And do it.
Do it,
Just
baby!
do it.
Hey, we'll see you next week on Bernie's Applebox. Be there or be square. Cut. That's a wrap.